Unique qualities of God, part 1. The first part is that God is omnipotent. In other words, he is all powerful. That means a few things. Number 1, it means that God created all things for his purposes. For by him all things were created, in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities, all things were created through him and for him. In other words, no one else gets the credit but God. The air that we breathe, the food that we eat, the sun that lights the sky, the people we love in our lives, God created all of it. Every good and perfect thing comes from the Lord. And the second thing that this means, omnipotent, is that God's power is unmatched. For the Lord Almighty has purposed, and who can thwart him? His hand is stretched out, and who can turn it back? So, contrary to popular opinion, the battle between good and evil is not a fair fight. It's not a yin-yang, 50-50, even split coin flip. No, not at all. If Satan is an ice cube, God is the sun. The Bible illustrates this foolishness of fighting against the will of God, and such is his power. The third thing that his omnipotence means is that God desires to share his power with his creation. Be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it. And so God, even from the beginning of creation, shared his authority with Adam and Eve to care for the earth. And then we see it also reflected in the New Testament, what Jesus Christ says to his disciples. I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions and to overcome all the power of the enemy. Nothing will harm you. God continues to share this power. And then we end up with the fourth quality that makes God's power unique. God uses his power with a delicate hand. Christ Jesus, who, being in very nature God, did not consider equality with God something to be used to his own advantage. Rather, he made himself nothing by taking the very nature of a servant, being made in human likeness. And so the reason we don't like the word power is because we see abuses of it every day in the world. But unlike humans, God wields his power with restraint, with care, with surgical precision. The best example of this is Jesus Christ, God in the flesh, descending from his heavenly palace to be born and raised by a humble family, working as a carpenter, washing his disciples' feet, and begging forgiveness as his own creation murders him in a sick and humiliating way. Jesus didn't fit the image of power that we're used to. In fact, many hoped that the Messiah would come with a sword to lead a rebellion and free the Jewish people. But Jesus used different weapons. He used weapons of love, of forgiveness, of truth, of obedience, and service to others. There we find a unique kind of power, the power to forgive the unforgivable, to love the unlovable, to have all power and yet to lay down your life. Thus, God is not only all-powerful, but he possesses all kinds of power. That is what makes him unique. God bless you.